What's good, everybody? Freaks and Geeks, aka NoahC, back at it again today for another video for y'all. And today we're going to be talking about the Raider. Now, this video has been highly requested among my subscribers, and pretty much this is a topic that I've been wanting to touch on for a good little while. A Raider is one of those classes that I'm indifferent about for multiple reasons, but this is not going to be a controversial video. Again, I guarantee you'll like this video probably a lot more than you would a lot of my other videos, as far as just my opinion goes anyway. But let's go ahead and get into the video. So the Raider is one of those classes that has always been not really a topic of discussion, but more or less he's just one of those classes that more or less is in the middle right now. He has pretty much a lot of things going for him, but then he has a lot of things that aren't going for him. There are a lot better classes that do things a lot better than he does, and with the fast meta and how everything is going, he's a little bit outdated. Now, I say that to say that he's not a bad character at all, but again, other classes outshine him. But let's talk about his toolkit real quick. So basically, he's got his light chain, which is, I think, is one of the better light chains of the game. I ain't gonna say the best, but one of the better light chains, because of the fact that his follow-up light is extremely fast, and it can come, pretty much anywhere, and you can delay it, which that right there is already a good little thing to have when it comes to actually mixing up your opponents and making them guess wrong. Next thing you have his stunning tap, which is probably one of his bread and butter moves. From his heavies, you can go into a tap that basically blinds your opponent, but you all already know this. But I say that to say that the stun and the blind on it is extremely well. I think that is probably one of his better things and saving graces for this class. Reason being is because of the simple fact is, with that alone, a guard break as fast as Raiders, or the fact that he has really fast side lights, they're able to actually mix up your opponent and keep them guessing. Now, and again, the stunning tap can basically be feinted. It can be delayed. It can be extremely sped up. It's again, the stunning tap move is actually one of his better actual attacks, and I really feel like they could expand upon it just a little bit more in order for Raider to actually shine, just from neutral anyway, because again, he has a lot of things going for him. Now, Raider is one of those classes that can really throw out a lot of heavies on console anyway. I don't know how it is for PC. You probably can see those things coming from a mile away. You probably can see the animation difference from a stunning tap and a regular heavy, which again primes you up for parry and punishing accordingly. So I guess in that sense, Raider more than likely on PC will probably be pretty bad, but on console he's actually a threat, especially in a 1v1 setting, with the fact that Raider's damage, and this is the next thing I want to touch on, Raider's damage is amazing. I think he's probably one of the better damaging classes in the entire game. All the Vanguards have 40 damaging heavies, and Raider has a 40 damage side heavy, and he has a 45 damage top heavy, which that right there is crazy in itself. It's one of the slowest attacks in the game, but it's very misleading. And reason why I say that is because it has a lot of range. So if you can catch people whiffing with the top heavy, if you time it right, and if you get wall splats, again, Raider can get that top heavy depending on the distance, which again is a very good tool for Raider. Now, Raider can work, again, this is segueing into this part, Raider can work off the wall extremely well. Probably one of the best classes in order for you to actually get good damage off of the wall, just because of the fact that wall splats are really annoying and they throw off your opponent. So Raider a lot of the times can actually make a person feel like they're not close enough to a wall, and then ends up pushing them into a wall. Our stamina punishes with Raider are extremely amazing. The fact that Raider in itself can twirl you around, he can guard break you if you have a lot of a little bit of stamina left. That little twirl will literally spin you around, throw you to the back, and then he's able to get his max punish. Depending on how close you are to a wall, it could even be more damaging and more devastating. Again, Raider is probably one of the best classes that survived the Season 5 changes, because again, he didn't necessarily have to thrive off of, you know, just guard breaking somebody. Again, he can get you out of stamina and then go from there and punish you accordingly. Now, does that mean that he didn't suffer when the guard breaks weren't no longer confirmed off of like heavy parries or just parries in general? Yeah, he did, because just a little bit anyway, because of the fact that, again, Raider, he can really put you in a situation you don't want to be in. He's a scary character out of stamina, just like a lot of characters are. So let's talk about him in a 1v1 setting. Now, in a 1v1 setting, Raider is, again, a really good turtler. He can really punish you accordingly. But the thing is that he gets telegraphed after a while, and every Raider has their own little style of play. Once you catch on, then that's pretty much it. And only thing Raider will really have to fall back on is really just looking at your opponent and trying to counterattack, so that way you can get your damage in and kind of disrupt their flow by themselves. But I think it's like that with pretty much every character that doesn't have like some type of opener to where they can make somebody do something. Now, Raider does have his zone attack, which that zone attack in particular can make you do a lot of things. It can make you move, it can make you throw out a heavy you don't want to throw out a heavy. It's one of his better things, honestly. I think most characters should be able to start up in a blockable from neutral. Reason why I say that is because again, as long as the damage is how it is with Raiders being at 25 damage when it's not started off by a chain, then that right there kind of lets you know, okay, this is balanced, but at the same time, it's giving you more of an option to actually try to open up your opponent. Again, a lot of characters like Orochi or Assassins or any character with really any type of fast, light, who can actually punish whiffs, will more or less stop Raider's chain. That's one of Raider's flaws, actually, is the fact that for a lot of his chain to get going, he has to commit to things. And because Raider has a lot of animation into his attacks, more or less Raider gets punished really hard for just trying to do anything. And that just goes along with the sense that Raider, again, it's just one of those classes that can't really do too much by himself without somebody actually really punishing him for trying. So I think they need to figure out a way to make him, I would say, a little bit safer, but at the same time make him, you know, still keep him balanced. Again, I really don't have all the answers to this class, because again, I feel like Raider on console anyway is fine. I think he's just one of those mid to high tier characters. I think probably more mid low tier in ones anyway, that he's still okay if anybody's good enough. If you're good enough, you can still play this character, most definitely. And now another thing I want to touch on is how he is in 4s. Now in 4v4 setting, Raider is actually just like his Warlord or Viking brother. Warlord and Raider kind of are peas in a pod. They can both, you know, ledge people effectively, and that right there kind of lets you know that if they can ledge people and keep ledging people and keep people disrupted and keep people to a point to where they have to do something or they have to like move. Again, they're just one of those characters that are just really good disablers. They're magnificent disablers. They're probably one of the best disablers in the entire game. They disrupt the fight and they can change it with just one charge. So I personally think that in 4s, Raider is probably fine. I don't think he really needs any more tweaks. I think he just needs more of a neutral game is all in the 1v1 aspect. And that's pretty much it for that class. And so, where would I like to see Raider in the future? I just think that he needs maybe a new move or something that more or less will give Raider the ability to make people keep guessing. That's what he does. And again, the Raider is pretty slimy when it comes to mix-ups because he's not fair when it comes to him. He punishes you for taking a chance, which a lot of characters should do. Like I said, these mix-ups should be for a lot of characters, and they should definitely try to implement them more into the actual coming days of For Honor. But we're coming to a sense of, you know, balance at this point in time. Again, Raider is more or less getting into a standpoint where he is just, I ain't gonna say he's gonna be good in the near future, but he's like just a little outdated right now, just a little bit. He's just a good mid-tier character. I just personally think that, you know, a lot of people. Sorry guys, so I had a little bit of another audio failure. For some reason, if I don't, do something for a while on my actual computer, more or less, it's gonna make my computer go into like sleep mode, like I'm not there, and then I have to start it all the way over again. But I digress. So again, I personally think that Raider, being the mid-tier character that he is, he's not bad. We just need to get to a point with this character that, however the devs decide to go about Raider, I think he's like Nobushi right now. Like, he's not bad, but he's not, amazing like how the rest of these casters are right now. Again, he was S tier at a point in time, basically because of his stampede charge and stuff like that. But I'm glad they nerfed that, because again, that was kind of outrageous. They had to balance it in the sense that we have to give you some, we have to be able to punish you if you dodge, because that was just a little too much for me anyway. But I hope they never have to touch that move again, personally, because I always thought that it was just a little bit cheesy. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for this video as far as like how I feel about the Raider. I would love to hear you guys' suggestions in the comment section below. I couldn't really think too much of anything with this topic, only because of the fact that, again, Raider being in the spot that he's in, he's not bad, but he's not amazing either. He's just mid-tier Raider. So hopefully, as things go on, Raider will get the tweak that he needs, or a little bit of a buff, and maybe everybody be happy. But again, in 4v4s he's fine, in 1v1s he's not. But I digress. This has been Freaks and Geeks, aka NoahC, signing out until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you guys later. Peace out. Deuces.